Welcome to Deep Thought. Find your path. You know what's interesting? Because as people know, my main thing, the main thing I'm known about is not my main thing. My main thing would actually blow people's minds if I shared it. But the thing I'm known for is relationships, and specifically telling men how to self-develop themselves. One for women, but really for themselves, right? But of course, that's what they're going to come to me for, mainly is how to get women. And I find it interesting because consistently I have dudes who will talk to me privately, and they'll say something like, Rom, what would you say in this situation? What would you do? What kind of line can I use for a woman? And all, stuff like that. Like, seriously. And they be sincere too, right? And I'll look at them and I'll just say, you know what? I could tell you some stuff, but it wouldn't work for you. Because in order for what I tell you to say, only way it would work for you is if you look exactly like me, you have my demeanor, you walk the way I do, and then people respond to you the way they normally respond to me. And the reason I tell them that is it's like people can't mask someone else. See, one thing we have in this society, we have a lot of conformity. And really, that's encouraged by the elites because it's actually good for business. If you have a critical mass of people who are always going to buy like burgers from a certain restaurant, or they're going to buy certain products, or every Christmas they're going to more gifts than they can really afford. That's good for business. That's good for stockholders, companies that make it. That's good for the economy. And trust me, business people want to be able to predict what you do, or even control what you do. Right? That's what advertising's for, which is nothing but propaganda. But anyway, and I still got, I got to read that book and give a book review on here for that book. Hey, y'all, thanks for reminding me. But anyway, right? Too often, people look to model somebody else for what they should be doing. The most you can do from somebody is get an idea to learn from their experience. Because, if you see somebody, they get messed up by drugs or something, well, you should know not to do drugs. Beyond that, it's still your choice. It's still your path, whether you want to use them or not. Now, you should be smart in that, want to use them, but, ultimately, people, they have to find their own way of doing something. Now, what a good teacher really does is bring out what you have within you. That's what a good teacher does. They don't try to make you clones. See, that's one thing I've told people, especially people who follow me privately, many men and people, young men I mentor, even some of the young ladies. You can't do what I do. You can't do, but you got to figure out, okay, what is it you do? Everybody has a gift. Everybody has something unique that they bring to the equation. Every single person. You can't conform to doing what someone else does. Like, I give you a great example. Like me, I usually wake up very early. I wake up very early. I pretty much have to just to get out of my dreams and stuff. Just as an aside, the night, the morning of this podcast recording, night before, you ever had those dreams you dreaming? You get up and pee. You go back to sleep and the dream takes up where it left off. Be having action adventures and stuff. I'd be like, be having some X-Men type dreams and whatnot, man. I'd be like, I think I'd be waking up. See, I wake up early just to get out the dream and stuff. I'm just like, shit. Let me get into the real world or something so I can get some rest. But I was bringing that up just because, I've read several things where it say, hey, if you sharp, you get up between 4 and 5, and stuff like, rich people only sleep for 4 hours a day and all that stuff. So you get some people, they try to kill their sleep habits for 4 hours a day. I'm like, bump that. I ain't gonna lie. I wish I could sleep 8 hours straight. I wish I could sleep 8 hours straight, and I wish I was the type who could sleep late. Shoot. Because it don't mean you going to be successful. Now, you can get somebody very successful and they get up 11 in the morning every day and go to bed at 8:30. Shoot. But maybe their path, they can do it on their path. People got to find ultimately what works for them. The ancients would say you have to know yourself. You have to know yourself. You got to say, okay, yeah, this person does it this way, but does that work for me? Right? Does that work for me? It's like, no. Like, I give you an example. Not to toot my own horn a little bit, but yeah, kind of. I actually could have attended West Point. West Point recruited me, not the other way around. And I would have got in easily. I had the connections to get in easily. But I said, wait a minute. They all get up at the same time? Oh, no. Because, hey, I got real problems with following anybody, like authority or anything, and I knew that. Now, somebody else might have been like, oh, yeah, go in there. And I even had one of my relatives. He was praising me and stuff. And I was just like, nah. Nah. So, it's, it was, I had to follow my thing, not what society wants. And I think, really, finding your own path is important anyway, because society will have you in professions and doing stuff that's not really you. Your path could be just art. Well, we need more artists. Your path could be making some good food. I did something, on my business channel about food, because it's my belief, if you find what works for you, that's really the ultimate thing for happiness. That's what you built for, right? You built for it. Like, everybody isn't built to work 60 hours a week. Everybody isn't built for it, or everybody isn't built to be, even though I talk about calming yourself and everything, everybody isn't built for just to sit around, if it's not you. You got known people, like plenty of college graduates, grad school graduates who get in professions and they can't stand it. I knew this woman, right, young lady, and we still cool on Facebook to this day, right? And I remember when I knew her when she was in college. And I remember she was just so proud of all her A's. I'm trying to hit on her and stuff, and she's showing me her report card. Right? She's like, Mom, look at all these A's. She was just straight A student, proud of it. Remember when she left school, worked for this prestigious accounting firm. I remember I saw her. She was just unhappy. She ended up leaving all that, getting into acting and modeling and stuff. And every time I see a picture of it, it's just like smiling, glowing. Very beautiful and stuff. But, that was her path. See, she tried to follow the path everybody else set for her. Because she kind of came from a little bit of money and everything. And, parents were like, you got to do this and all of that. But I'll never forget the look I saw when she was coming from, her office job, her prestigious accounting firm. And I forgot what, it was a firm in D.C., very prestigious, especially for like a college graduate to start at, right? And I remember she had on a business suit, she had on her makeup, and the saddest I've ever seen her. Now she doing every day, like I said, she's even acting in a few small things. Now, just totally happy. So ultimately, you got to find your path. Your path. Not somebody else's path, not somebody else's style. You got to know yourself, and you got to do what works for you. All right? So anyway, that's it for now. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and many blessings.